Join us for an enlightening experience where you will gain a deeper understanding of the purpose and essence of opening your eyes. This is your chance to enhance self-awareness and personal growth with a shift in perception that provides a fresh outlook on life. Embrace the journey from consciousness to superconsciousness by Barrett Kunyan.
Here we are again, and we have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful soul brother. His name is Juan Jose from Spain. Brother, it's a real privilege, honor to have you back on our beautiful show. How have you been keeping, brother? How are things generally in with you? Everything okay?
Everything okay. Thank you for this new invitation, and that has been, has been excellent. Keep evolving and keep downloading all the messages from the device sources.
Thank you.
And bringing what is really needed for the civilization, like many of us are in this mission just to complete our soul contracts and finally unite this civilization with the divine purpose and the divine destiny of humankind. That is what I have been doing for the last 16 years and continue.
Bless you, brother. Bless you.
Thank
for
you,
that.
Brother Barrett. Thank you. I'm happy
Thank
to be here again.
Brother, we've been triggered in the most profound, positive way, as always. Reference to something that's just happened as we speak. This amazing planetary alignment, which is the title of our show.
Yes.
Now, this phenomena, to be very sincere and open with you as always, I've picked this information up. You can add validity to it as we continue with our conversation. Apparently, this kind of phenomenon takes place every 3.5 billion years, thereabouts.
Mm-hmm.
So we are living in very unprecedented times and massive changes taking place due to this kind of alignment. And something tells me, because we've shared space before, and I feel as though you've got something to say, and I had that calling, as always, to knock at your door and say, Brother Jose, is it possible that you can come back to the show? Because I find you one of the most authentic people I've certainly come across in my entirety of life. And I honor you and I shower you with my love. And I feel that you've got something to say to our viewers today, reference to this amazing alignment. So please share with us, with our viewers, what you're feeling reference to these times.
Well, it is a very profound reflection of the projections of the civilization throughout history. We had been downloading through telenodes all the projections on the Akashic memory of this civilization, which is recorded on the memory of the Mother Earth. All these projections are telling us the state and the situation of humankind at this moment, and more than say, what we are doing is reflecting actually these projections in the mirror of the divine consciousness of the universal spirit, and that is basically what I have been doing during the last 16 years. And more than say, it is just a reflection of these projections. So what has been lately coming into our awareness is that the entire global system is not aligned with the universal evolution of consciousness, divine quantum consciousness, and the spirit of eternal existence. That is what we are bringing through these downloads of the Akashic records, and in contrast with the reality that is projected on the planet. It is a kind of misalignment from the beginning of the fecundation of the global population with the divine tutorial guidance of the interdimensional souls. And that went not well, and that was a rejection. And from that moment into that anaphylactic reaction, this anaphylactic shock that happened in the moment of the fecundation, caused as consequence immunosystem reaction, and that is what has kept humanity in this constant sickness and fight and misalignment with the universal process of natural evolution in dynamic levitation. So people have taken all these interventions, divine interventions through history, like an attack. And the consequence is that this how to call it is the elite of this alpha elite of the planet has been preparing for a kind of confronting, because they were thinking that the universe was punishing or attacking humankind, which is actually the misconception, who brings a result in which humankind is in total misalignment of through the misunderstanding of what has happened, especially during the last 16,000 years. So we are recovering since 2008. We are in 2024. We are recovering all this memory, and we are recovering all these projections to bring into that mirror of the divine quantum consciousness the reality of the civilization. There has not been such a situation like the universe attacking or punishing humankind, and that is what we need to understand to dissolve any kind of resentment or emotional alteration, of misunderstanding or misinterpretation of the guidance from the tutorial guidance of the divine spirit for humankind to for the reconciliation of humankind with the natural process of evolution and the total alignment of the global energies with the universal energies. That's basically my mission, just to bring from pondering all this history through my heart and the divine unconditional love, to bring this information for humanity as a bridge of the energies to heal all this collective trauma, for definitely dissolve the trauma of humanity and enter into the space of master co-creation and the evolution of consciousness of the universe in dynamic levitation. That is the evidence of how this universe is traveling in dynamic levitation of a spirit towards eternity. So that's what we recover, the concept of immortal, eternal, potential towards the infinite. What the reality shows that the entire financial system is a total misalignment regarding the universal evidence of how everything is evolving through divine quantum consciousness, not through money or commodities of gold, of any other kind of material issues. This misunderstanding has brought this alpha elite to compete and to think that there was a war, and that's the war that humankind now is going through, which is totally unnecessary because everything is triggered by a total misunderstanding of the divine existence of the civilization.
Yeah, thank you, brother. I've been taking
You're
notes.
welcome.
Yeah, I've been
Yeah,
taking
I
some.
see you.
Yeah, taking notes because you've made some incredible observations here. If I can bring your attention a little bit to, you're talking about traumas for the people because they've been traumatized.
Yeah.
In your understanding, how would you say which is the best way of helping like people remove their traumas? Is there any sort of advice you could possibly give to people, not just to comfort them, but to help release these traumas, how they
Well,
can
that.
neutralize? Yeah,
Mhm. No, definitely the advice has been given during history by other messiahs of lineages, especially the Hebrew lineage of the Christ,
yeah.
originally coming from Atlantis,
Mm-hmm.
and that is the timelines that humanity has been losing during the last 160 centuries of the checklist of the what I call also the references from the divine interventions to follow. So the advice was given, if you might remember the Decalogue. Can you remember 3 or 4 of the um, recommendations of the Decalogue for humanity made by Moses in the tablets that were shown in Judah at the time of the golden calf? Can you remember one of those recommendations of the Decalogue of Moses?
Yeah, I mean the most striking one is things like "Thou shalt not kill."
Yeah, yeah. That shall
Um,
not kill, that shall not take, don't steal, don't lie. Um, is any
that
one of those respected during the last 3,500 years? Not really.
not
So,
really, no.
so that's something that we have to understand, that we travel on this planet, which is organic, spiritual, conscious,
Yeah,
sacred mothership of the galaxy.
yeah,
And all these verification lists through the past have been disregarded constantly. Not only disregarded, but humanity has done exactly the contrary of
yeah,
what was advised to do. So
yeah.
we have to imagine what that means from modern aviation, civil aviation era, of a pilot is exactly doing the opposite of what the checklist is telling
Look,
to do to keep the airplane in stability.
can I just stop you 1 second, if I may, brother? Sorry, I hope you don't mind. I need to drop this one in quickly, if I may. I agree 100%. If you go against natural law,
Mm.
you're asking for trouble. Is it fair to say, because there's been a massive misunderstanding, and there's so much information out there, there's this narrative, that narrative, that narrative. Is there any validity why people have this cognitive dissonance? Because sometimes, you feel as though, um, is there like a mind control system here at all as part of a narrative to keep us down? or is that an excuse? Do you think there is a 50-50 ratio? Is there some truth in this? Because, use the television as an example, for example, with the propagandas and the things the media puts it out. We are doing it to ourselves fundamentally, because the collective consciousness, the way it comes together to form an alliance, we make it happen because we're sponsoring, we're energizing this to happen.
Yeah.
It's like they know how to manipulate this. But you're absolutely 1,000,000,000% correct. These tablets are they're part of a profound law, and if we desecrate, if we go against the law, we're only punishing ourselves. Nobody's punishing us. We're punishing ourselves. So is it fair? The question is it fair to say, I don't want to use the word evil, or a force that was once in a position that was manipulating or hallucinating or hypnotizing humanity under a spell? Because I'm hearing it a lot in the spiritual community. In your own viewpoint, do you think there's some truth in that?
Well, later in this process, when people found this existence discomforting, they had been definitely forces fighting against the creation. So the creation is divine quantum love, pure love, that unites the entire universe, loving this universal existence in the glory, grace, gratitude, greatness, and generosity, and the gravity of every single planet, moon, solar system, star, galaxy of the universe, honoring this existence.
Yeah.
So I think that basically has been unconsciousness, and this unconsciousness have been taking whatever reference was available at the moment to justify the fact that they were fighting against God. That is a visceral fight, because humanity has not been able yet to live within this universal spirit that has been the immune system shock in the organism of the civilization, in which all the cells have been fighting, and that's the sickness and the suffering and the trauma of the civilization. The spell is originally what I have been downloading many of the experiences through history, like what happened in the Eden of Adam and Eve, that they were expelled from the Eden. I have been going through the experience of Atlantis and Lemuria, the sinking of Atlantis and Lemuria, because when there is a conflict, the earth cannot sustain in levitation those civilizations, and they fall. The fall of Atlantis and Lemuria is because that levitation of that hostile connection between the Atlanteans and the Lemurians were not held by the energies of Mother Earth. And then I have been going through the experience of Lucifer. Lucifer was one of the first interventions, and he found, I have been pondering all these energies deep in the law of reflection from the source, and that was probably the origin of this misalignment, because the mission has been from the interdimensional souls to guide, to be a spiritual tutorial guidance for humanity towards universal sovereignty, and through dignity, honorability, credibility, and that didn't take place, and that created a big discomfort for these angels who were feeling the hostile atmosphere in which the local population was not liberating these interests for their own existence. The entire problem is that of the misconception of misalignment and misunderstanding is that humans in this planet have not found yet the convenience to respect the tutorial guidance from the interdimensional souls connected to their own existence. So that bridge of connection between the divine interventions and the life of humankind in the cosmos has not been linked in a way that this alpha elite are still not understanding the importance of follow that guidance for humanity. So they bring themselves in the middle, like it happened when Moses was presenting the recommendation of the Decalogue, the 10 recommendations, that at that moment people were choosing for the golden calf. So there has been from that trauma identification of the local population with alternative gods supplanting the original universal spirit. And that is what brings now the god is money. Money has brought, after the beheading of John the Baptist, of the Hebrew lineage of Christ, and the crucifixion of Jesus and the dishonoring of Mary Magdalene, the supplantation and choosing of Barabbas instead of Jesus has brought this reality. The reality where we are now is a reality based on money, because some people had the expectation to become rich in this planet, and that's the reality that we see here.
Yeah.
And that is what I wrote the other day, that the entire financial system is a total misalignment, because nothing evolves in the universe through money. So they have put money on top of humanity, on top of the evolution. They have been giving the energies of humankind to hoaxes, lies, confusion, ambiguity, wars, money, and now artificial intelligence is advising. And that was quite surprising, that artificial intelligence was definitely figuring out what is bringing humanity into the universal stability, and that's the alignment with the universal spirit with the Christ consciousness, which is the representing energy of the universal creation on earth in organic form through the Hebrew lineage. And we have been seeing also beautiful lineages in India, in Egypt, the pharaohs, since Osiris and Isis, and the continuous commitment to humanity to bring this civilization to this alignment. I had been downloading also the experience of Osiris and Seth, and you know that Seth was mutilating his brother in 14 pieces. Actually, there were 15. 14 of the pieces of the body of Osiris were recovered by Isis, and she was bringing them together to activate the seeds of life still in the body of Osiris to get pregnant, and that was a walking. The soul of Osiris could not return to that body. So Isis was getting pregnant of the seeds of life of Osiris to get his soul reincarnated in the body of Horus. So that is also another big effort through history in the lineage of the Lyra in Egypt to continue the sequence of reconfiguration of all the lineages on the planet, to create altogether a collective organism, a healthy, organism of humanity to harbor the noble, sovereign, multidimensional soul of the civilization. We are far from that purpose of the civilization, which is in the fractal scale of our own bodies. We are a multi-organ organism, and humanity in that fractal structure of the creation of the universe is exactly the same. However, this destiny of the civilization has not been reached in this moment in which we have to cross to the next cosmic era of universal evolution in Aquarius, where the body of humanity arrives through what you said, all these agendas of thoughts and tendencies in a fragmentation of the global energies that should arrive to this moment in total unity. So altogether is bringing this conclusion that definitely it is not only the financial system, it is the financial system has been like an antidepressant of the depression of this trauma that humanity is suffering, even in those who are in the elite, because they really don't know what we are doing, where we are, when we are, how we are, who we are, and why we are doing what we are doing. So that's the picture, the reflection of a total misconception of universal existence for humankind. And that is what we are reflecting. It is not that we say something, we are just reflecting what has been during 13,780 million years in this universe, and that has been 2,000 years ago, and that was when Moses was presenting the tablets, and that was in the moment that Lucifer, Noah, Lemurian, Atlantis were, through these divine interventions, invited to unite with the universal flow of evolution. That's the easy understanding of who we are. But for any reason, I don't know if this is a spell or if this visceral rejection of this unconsciousness, not willing to learn and this universal evidence, and that's bringing the misalignment.
Thank you for that, brother. I mean, my understanding, and I'm not claiming to be an expert in a particular field, but accumulating and sharing space with elevated, beautiful souls like yourself. Not easy to find, brother. You know, people who stand with great authenticity. But when you share space with people who are pretty aligned and they're centered, there seems to be a level of harmonization and some kind of, I hate to use the word political correctness, but it's about correcting systems or situations without imposing or making people feel that they're about to lose something, because everybody has this fear that, well, with capitalism for sure, you know, why does someone need to lose something and someone else gains? And my understanding is, with AI, for example, everything has a double-edged sword. You know, it's the intention. What do you propose to do with your tools? Is it to create more kindness? Is it to create more compassion? See, one of several reasons why I felt a need to create a platform is to invite people in to share information, which helps to raise the consciousness. Now, if it's aligned with natural law, if people have the ability to listen and to siphon truth, your intention, what's your intention? What is the purpose of you participating? Is someone at your door, lovely brother? Or
Yes,
is it?
just my mother is not
Ah,
hearing
okay.
the bell, so I need to open. Just give
Yes,
me a
of
second,
course,
please.
of course. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, Jose,
Yeah,
go for it.
hello, buenas noches. The purpose is exactly the same of the purpose that has had every single divine intervention on earth since the tutorial guidance of the interdimensional souls, and that is that humankind dissolves the collective unconsciousness and the consequent trauma
Yeah,
of this civilization. I can understand that some people have found their comfort zone in that industrial, financial, banking, business, and money accumulation. But as I said, this is an antidepressant. I had been telling about money has a psychotropic effect in the brain of people, which are not really aware of the universal reality. And universal reality, the existence, the sovereign, eternal, divine existence of the universe is towards eternity. And the entire financial system is based on extraction of energy from humankind. And humankind needs to understand how universal sovereignty is working, because nobody knows how that is working, exactly because that is what humankind has been fighting against, the universal spirit of sovereign, eternal, divine existence. So they have found this alternative escape of reality, which is the actual financial system, where you see a lot of rich people presented as the successful, taking decisions for humanity and leading the civilization in the wrong direction. And the purpose is to correct that direction, because has not been corrected in 160 centuries, and that can cause a final crash of
yeah,
this mothership, because the universe cannot keep an entity alive if that entity is determined to fight against life. And that's so simple as that. Humanity has taken a suicidal line of creation, and all the interventions are exactly my purpose and the meaning of my mission here on earth, to prevent humankind from extinction, because that's the direction that this civilization is taking, because the universe cannot keep in dynamic levitation a civilization kidnapped by a tendency which is not honoring, of not grateful, or not in gratitude with the divine existence of the universal spirit. And that is the disgrace
yeah,
causing the suffering of the civilization. It is very easy to understand, but for whatever reason, people are not in conformity with their own existence, and they are dragging the rest of the civilization into this traumatic experience, fighting against on universal spirit of
yeah,
existence. So that's basically bridge that has not been created yet to close the wound, original wound of the misconception during the fecundation between the local population in this planet and the tutorial guidance, spiritual guidance of the noble, sovereign, multidimensional souls coming from the galaxy to assist humanity towards universal sovereignty. And if that link is not made and there is a new rejection, then the universe cannot hold in levitation a civilization who denies to accept its own universal existence.
Yeah.
It is so simple as that. Every single intervention has been a CPR, cardiopulmonary resuscitation of brain activation through these electrical shocks with the intention to reanimate humanity, which has not happened during all the interventions. The Noah Ark, we can count about 10 times Lemuria, starting by Lucifer, Lemuria and Atlantis, Ark of Noah, Sodom and Gomorrah, the Anunnaki, Babylon, King David, Moses, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, with the 12 families of Israel, Jesus and John the Baptist, and this is the last attempt, because if this intervention is rejected, then is no longer any other possibility to keep humankind in dynamic levitation unless the divine order of the galaxy has any other kind of intervention to plan to save humanity or make an astral extraction to save the planet with those who are loyal to divine existence in this sacred place.
Do you honestly feel that the planet will be saved, or do you think there's, because in the Bible it does talk about, I mean, there is some distortion, but what, things can have double meanings and all sorts of things. But my little understanding of the subject is there seems to be like some kind of separate rapture. And is this
Well,
yeah, how does that sit with you, with
well,
humanity?
that's definitely the idea. Actually, what happens is that the entire, because there was lately issued a divine master plan of human soul liberation 1700 years ago in Constantinople, in which the responsible was the Christian emperor of the Roman Empire, Constantine. You will remember that the Romans were initiating this campaign to conquer the world by an empire, and every single empire is a misconception, because the universe is not an empire conquering of colonizing planets. We never came here to colonize this planet. We came here to assist humanity to become a sovereign civilization of the cosmos. So answering your question is that the merchants, the people of the business, were the Pharisees were offended because Christ entered in the temple, and he was breaking the market. Jesus said that was not the line, and they were finding an offense in that suggestion, and for that reason they lynched, executed Christ, and beheaded John the Baptist. The splitting is, of course, commercial activity is a genuine, beautiful interchange of energies between creativity amongst all the civilizations in this planet, the multicultural expression in which the super diversity of cultures are creating their own products, their own Minecraft, their own creativity, culinary, textile, and all the ways. So that is one of the lines which has to be honored and respected for those people who are not feeling themselves pilots. And the other splitting, which is not a splitting, is in a unity in harmony between merchants and cosmic pilots. Because what happened is that the merchants were suppressing the cosmic pilots because they wanted the planet from themselves. They wanted to make of the planet a global market, which is the reality, and to become multimillionaire, but they have no single idea how to pilot a mothership of the galaxy within the universal parameters of moral integrity, philosophical ethics, and divine quantum consciousness. So these planets and all the planets for intelligent civilizations were created for cosmic pilots, not for merchants. It's like the duty-free in the airplane is hijacking and pretending to fly the airplane without having any single idea how to speak English, how to connect with the air traffic control, of how to handle the avionics of the airplane. The crash is is an evidence, and that is what has happened here 9 times. So
yeah,
you can crash. I mean, people say that we get into enlightenment by suffering, but that is another misconception for the simple reason that nobody needs to crash a car 10 times to learn how to drive a car. So the problem here and the purpose in this splitting is that these merchants are learning what is their position and allow the cosmic pilots to pilot this mothership of the galaxy within the universal parameters of this divine quantum consciousness, moral integrity, and ethical philosophy. That is what is the splitting, and just recover that structural integrity for humankind, in which the cosmic pilots are guiding in sovereignty everything what is needed to reverse all the damage that has been created in this civilization, because the entire human structure is a chaos. It is a total chaos. It's a total misalignment. By one, all these tendencies are not united in one alignment to bring universal stability to this civilization. And from fragmentation cannot bring a unified field of neutral 0-point energies, which is quantum physics. And that is how all the structures in the fractal scales of all creation, from the quantum microcosmos through the organic mesocosmos towards the astral macrocosmos, are united by this divine quantum consciousness. And that's quantum physics, and science, not even science, understands properly what's the meaning of the the duality between wave and particle. You know about this experiment in which the observer double slit experiment in science, in which people are observing a photon, and that photon, while observed, is acting like a particle, projecting projecting an impact into a screen reflecting the impact of the particles being shoot through both slits. And when these are not observed, these particles are acting like waves, you know, and that is a superposition. That is the law of superposition. You don't observe these particles, and there they are projected into that screen like waves interacting through each other, passing through that double slit frontal panel, you know. So that experiment is what science still does not understand. Why is that happening? Well, it is happening because there is a supersymmetry between particle and wave, and initially the consciousness is a wave, and when the consciousness of the observer is checking into that flow, then becomes a particle. Excuse me a moment.
Yes.
A ver, por favor, puedes parar de gritar, que es que estoy en una entrevista, por favor. Yeah, that is the interference, isn't it? Too much noise, background noise. So humanity, it's a beautiful example because humankind is a background noise.
Yeah, yeah.
And this universe is in dynamic levitation through the divine symphonies of quantum love. And that is how the universe is levitating towards eternity. Everything levitates in the universe, isn't it? When we observe with the telescopes, that was not the observation 2,000 years ago. These primitive entities like the Roman Empire, the Pharisees of the Herod were quite unaware of what they were doing. And science has advanced to the point of understanding that everything is in levitation, and this levitation is through pure divine quantum love in the harmonic symphonies of the universal creation. This love is what still is not fully integrated because it's diverted. People have identified themselves with money, and money is a blunder. Money is not anything that supports any kind of structural integrity in the universe, unless the money which has been made by the lynching of the divine existence of humanity. When the spirit is waking up, the entire structure of cards is falling down because that is not holding other than the egocentric tendency to survive the trauma of humanity. So the sense of this intervention is to recover fully the morphological integrity of this civilization, and consequently the health of humankind, the sanity, the equilibrium of energies. Everything in the universe is equilibrium of energies, stability. All the structures of the solar system, the satellites, the galaxies, the cosmos, is astral structural integrity. And that's the clarity of our souls and the transparency of the message that we are transmitting through spirit purity and integrity. That is and definitely credibility. This is a civilization without credibility, without dignity, without honorability, without unity, without happiness, being unfortunately deceived by this psychotropic, having this effect of an antidepressant to cover that depression of the spatial disorientation, crisis of identity, and the existential conflict conflict of the civilization. So the purpose is to heal that, to put that into perspective, to align with the universal structures, integrate the divine quantum consciousness in the civilization, and to recover the health of the global organism through universal sovereignty, producing all the energies necessary to bring humankind into that universal alignment.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, bro. There's a lot of lot of information to take in there. That's amazing. Because you touched on, when we talk about the real intrinsic value, because obviously money is not the real intrinsic value. Higher civilizations, they will be working with the real currency, which is energy, how we energize each other
Yeah.
to help raise the consciousness, to be a game changer, to be in servitude. Because I you know I see from my perspective, and I think I speak for you as well, when you're in the room or you're in a situation with people, what is your intention? Is it to cause harm, or is it to give assistance to? And fundamentally, the consciousness of, let's say, yourself, it's a game changer, because it's not just words that you are omitting. You're omitting a particular frequency, which is, my understanding is, you're harmonizing, you're neutralizing the toxicity. You're like alkalinity at its best, because you can see you're not. And I've had the pleasure of sharing space with you before. We've done more conversations than recordings, but what I find is, when you neutralize people, they can go to some kind of their natural state of beingness.
Yeah.
But now, with these alignments that's happening, do you see? Because it's never happened, right, brother? Because you said 9 times. It's imploded a few times over. Do you feel now is the time for humanity to finally rise to the occasion?
That is a must. There is no speculation with the time anymore, Brother Barrett, because if we miss this train of evolution,
Yeah,
we are now recovering all the missed stations in between, which are all these checklists, lists of verification of the status of the energies of the planet. The question is perfect. Of course, this planet has been given to humankind as a credit for our credibility as noble, intelligent civilization of the galaxy. For whatever reason, which in my understanding is the misalignment, initial misalignment in the moment of the fecundation, in that rejection between the local population and the interdimensional souls. The purpose now is to make, the universe is telling us, you have now the last opportunity to bring your best divine love from within and to create this divine union between humankind, the cosmic pilots, the interdimensional noble souls, and therefore the galactic families, the intelligent galactic families, and finally unite humankind with the destiny and the purpose to become a sovereign, noble, intelligent civilization, master civilization of the galaxy, after superating all this trauma and all this suffering. How we can interchange energies. Everything is an interchange of energies. simultaneously. You have to think in an orchestra. I have been singing in 3 different choirs in the Netherlands, in Febreros here in Madrid, and in the polyphonic choir you have different voices of the sopranos, alts, tenors, and basses, and all are harmonized in different frequencies, creating that beautiful harmony of a choir singing in
Yeah.
these melodies. You can look in the orchestra in which you have quite different instruments of wind, percussion, chords, piano, etc. All are playing their own part in the symphony, creating an harmony of sound in which we all listen with pleasure to these masterpieces. That is the energy interchange in harmony, but not through violence, not through harming others, not through exploding others, not through playing the parasite structure, extracting energy from others. The equilibrium of energies is an administration. It is a distribution. It is an application of the energies interchange in which every human being gets credit for his or her credibility to co-create divine reality for humankind. So, for example, this interview that you are doing to me, you are contributing and facilitating this expansion of consciousness into the collective. So that you should get credit for what you are doing. You should get credits that should be the transformation of that monetary system. You get credits, 1,000 credits, 2,000 credits, related to the people who is watching the interview, who are wanting to give you that credit in gratitude for what you are doing, because what you do is beneficial for their emotional stability and their understanding of how we are working together. And there is no limit to that giving of credits. The universe uses all the energies necessary to keep the entire cosmos in levitation. Why is that happening? Because every single star of this galaxy, of the trillions, quadrillions of stars of the universe, are all of them fully conscious of their contribution in gratitude for their divine existence, and they are giving their energies to levitate together with the divine quantum consciousness of the center of the galaxy, which is keeping them into orbit. And that is the co-creation in equal balance and respect and credibility and honorability and dignity and light and love and all the faculties that we all have inherent
Yeah.
in our genetic structure that we have been dismissing through history. That's why we have losing the faculty of telenose. I have been starting to download all this information and connecting to the source of this divine existence, because I have been in alignment with this consciousness, who is in that frequency able to transmit to me all this information. And that information is not an exclusive of any lineage. The mission of the diversity of lineages in China, of the emperors in China who were building a wall of 13,000 miles of extension. Nobody is building a wall of 13,000 miles of extension to fight. This is a wall to defend from attacks.
Yeah.
at the time of China. Then you have all the temples of India, of this lineage, beautiful lineage of our brothers and sisters in India, where you can see beautiful divine unions between Lord Shiva and uh, and Parvati. You can see beautiful divine union of these avatars in the evolution of that lineage in India between Vishnu and Lakshmi, Brahma and Sarasvati, Krishna and Radha, and Ram and Sita. Those are divine unions in India, which are giving us the confirmation that that lineage in India was in divine harmony through these divine unions, bringing into others this divine love for other people, just to extend this panspermia of life through divine love and this music that keeps everything in levitation. Then you have the lineages in Egypt. You have the Hebrew lineage of Jesus and Mary Magdalene. You have lineages of the Aztecs and the Mayas in North America. You have the Incas in South America. So in every continent, in every space of the earth, that was a different lineage with the mission to unite the civilization into this multicultural harmony of the different lineages of cultures with that same mission. eh? But that has been broken, and then we have Illuminati sequence who were taking this divine master plan, who has been interpreted for their own convenience, and actually it is in that such a way which is going radically in opposition against the divine order. So hope that these people are being aware of what they are doing, because they are discrediting themselves to the total misalignment of the civilization by this parasitic system of extraction of energies. Sovereignty can produce all the currency, all the credits to heal completely the entire civilization, in which we don't see any more sickness. There is no debt, there is no taxes, there is no karma, there is no tolls, there is no prices increase, there is no conflict, and there is no wars. That is how we can bring that universal stability to this civilization, but needs to be accepted in divine alignment and divine union with the tutorial
Yeah.
guidance of
Thank
the
you, brother.
spirit. You're
Yeah.
welcome.
I was going to say, the laws of cause and effect, laws of attraction, from a biblical sense, you reap what you sow. I mean, that for me is very powerful, because um, you treat people the way you want to be treated. So, it's not just the science. I mean, it's what you put out, you get back. Now,
Exactly.
if you can work it, and I've been doing this for quite a while, that's why I've been living in abundance, because for me, when we talk about heaven or hell scenario, it's not a place, it's not a particular destination, it's a state of beingness, it's a
Yeah.
state of mind. I feel at home wherever I go. Why?
Hmm.
Because I feel the planet is my home. When we start removing, when you start removing the labels that disenfranchise us, where there's
Hmm.
competition, because we have this flag, that language, this currency, this box, that box, hierarchies and what have you. But when you start removing that, and if you ask me a question, where do you live? I live on planet Earth. Thank you very
Hmm.
much. What
Hmm.
is your religion? It's love. Thank you very.
Hmm.
So simple way of breaking it all down. It boils down to a particular currency of exchange. We're exchanging energies, because like when you sit with somebody, two or more people, you know, 1 + 1 is for me not two, because you're adding something with a very powerful intention to create. Like we are creating a very powerful trinity. We're inviting people to come into this platform for a particular reason. We're sharing information, which is really a very exciting time, because they, like we're saying here, you talked about the train, don't miss the train. There is a, I see it like a window. I see like there's a window of opportunity here where people can rid the implants, or whatever you want to call it, uh, how they've been allowed themselves to be misaligned. And so, with great conversations like this, and many more are coming forward now, brother. And I was going to come back to the word guidance, and also because we are divinely guided. If our hearts are open, we're centered, where we don't, you know, we don't discriminate good or bad. There is an opposing polarity. Yes, I agree. Misalignments. Yes. But your alignment doesn't need to talk too much, because it's your posture, how you hold yourself, how you walk, what impressions, intentions, markers are you leaving? Is it raising the game or is it lowering the game? So I appreciate everything that you bring to the table, brother, because it's all about raising the consciousness to the place where people take responsibility, accountability, not point fingers and say, we need the government, we need this, we need credit, we need this, we need it. For me, brother, I'll be very, 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 very transparent. My operating system is abundant. It scarcity for me personally is a myth. I don't believe that scarcity exists. Like, for example, where I live in the part of Bulgaria, all right, I'm in Austria at the moment, but we created a small heaven in Bulgaria, for example. One of the reasons why it took fruition is because I didn't have one cell in my body that wanted to cause harm. Even our ethical way of communication with the soil, with the air, with the elements, how we work with the community. This is, and I'll be very honest with you as always, I don't speak Bulgarian, for example. My Bulgarian is pretty good. My son does, bless his soul. But with me, my communication is my body language. It's like how I greet people. I can greet people like this, and they can lock eyes with me and feel the energy. And I know that when your intentions are pure, they're impeccable. I always say to people, and when I talk, and I have failed in the past because I have hurt people unintentionally, but now I'm very conscientious. When I speak, it's because I don't want to break the peace. My objective is to bring unity. My objective is to be a catalyst, a great bridge to help humanity to come into this field of full realization, and to be responsible and accountable. And I've seen a massive change in me, and I know how, and I know you have as well, how we can affect people in our societies. And I am excited. But you mentioned galactic, because do you feel that, because there's a lot of talk at the moment in the mainstream as well, reference to some kind of communication taking place with the galactic federation.
Yeah.
If I may, brother, if I may, if it's not cheeky of me to ask this question, have you? I mean, I know I feel I know you have, because where are you getting your downloads from a higher perspective? There is a divine connection. Do you feel that there are angelic beings that are assisting humanity? And one other question, reference to crop circles, for example.
Mhm.
Uh, how powerful is decoding these messages, these geometric communications?
Communications. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that's
where's your position?
evidence. That's
Yeah,
evidence of the intelligence guiding us. You were mentioning guidance.
yeah,
So crop cycles are part of this technology, imprinting these signs on the crops for humankind to understand that this geometry is indicating quite clear connections to energy sources, sacred geometries, Merkabas, mandalas, chakras. So all that energy expression that concerns humankind is being given through these crop circles as a manifestation of this higher intelligence guiding humanity into that understanding and awareness. Definitely, yes. The issue is that this visceral conflict against those who come here in personal representation of the divine existence of the universe are being targeted through history actually is not a full understanding of the dimension of the rejection, because it is not only that these people were 2000 years ago beheading John the Baptist and lynching Jesus. It is that these people are rejecting the divine existence of the civilization. In one side, they are also rejecting all these civilizations of the galaxy that had been donating their DNA to co-create an intelligent civilization of the galaxy. So we all have links and connections telepathically to other intelligent galactic civilizations who are assisting in the healing process of the civilization. So that is like the Arcturians, Lyrans, or Pleiadians. So there are three of the most relevant known civilization being given their DNA as donation for us to become an honorable civilization living in dignity as master co-creators of reality in the galaxy. Lynching Jesus means that they are lynching also the contact of severing the contacts with this civilization. And these people are not pointing at anyone who can feel the offense in their visceral perception of reality. This is a pure spiritual, intelligent communication to invite these minds to co-create in divine sovereignty from a perspective of this mothership in which I am the captain of captains. It is not that I am the captain and others are not. The universal sovereignty from the divine source of the eternal flame, which is in a star, is being reflected by the trillions, quadrillions of stars where we return when we finish our organic mission here, because we are all Merkabahs in our heart connecting to our star of origin. Is the reflection honoring this commitment of the eternal existence of the universe through the eternal flame, divine source of love, life, light, levitation, liberation, and gravitation throughout the entire cosmos and also the multidimensional universe. That is what we represent here. We represent not only the divine source and ourselves of a lineage, we are representing these intelligent galactic families of the Galactic Federation of Intelligent Civilizations, who are giving us the space to expand ourselves into this momentum of evolution in which we can co-create the alignment with their divine intelligence to unite ourselves with the galactic and cosmic flow of evolution. So the rejection is not a personal issue like they were thinking 2000 years ago. Oh, we lynch Jesus, we behead John the Baptist, and we are clear, we have liberated ourselves, we can create our markets, we can go ahead with our plans and dreams to become rich. And they became rich. The entire money is totally and absolutely irrelevant, is nothing. Is nothing. And I'm sorry to say this because that is what Jesus was telling 2000 years ago. They took that as an offense, and far from correcting through the guidance of the divine master plan of human soul liberation, they have been repeating again the same mistake. And that's not good.
No.
That's not judgment. It is the reading of the energies, and that is what you were reading the other day, that the entire financial system is a total misconception because nothing is evolving in the universe through money or whatsoever kindness. You can make postures, you can be kind, people can show themselves as nice projectors of fantasies, and we are going to conquer Mars, and we are going to go there, and we are a multi-planet civilization, and we are claiming the cosmos, and blah blah blah. This is just fabulation. This is mental incontinence, and that's very dangerous because it's based on a fantasy which is nothing connected to the universal evidence of existence. So these people willing to bring other humans to Mars, it has been detected radiation, lethal radiation in the surface of Mars. These people are selling smoke, and these people have money. These people are a little bit of a pampered boys, which no idea whatsoever of what they are doing, of projecting, of pretending for humankind. And they are just masters of disaster because money is impulsing them into a fantasy that does not exist. And the entire problem started when Lucifer and other angels were dismissed, were unattended, disregarded, sorry, of the guidance for humanity into eternity, towards eternity. And that disrespect of the guidance from the multidimensional souls is what caused the suffering of the civilization. So we are here back into this cycle of existence in which we cross to the next cosmic era of expansion of consciousness of the civilization into the galactic space. We have been going through this solar system space in which the probes have been going through Pluto, they have been going through Saturn, the Cassini, they have been studying the moons of Jupiter, etc., which is beautiful. And the next step for us should be entering into multidimensional space through divine quantum consciousness to teleport our consciousness through the galaxy. But these intelligent civilizations are not coming here until we don't accept them. How can we pretend as a collective human community that these galactic intelligent civilizations are going to accept us if the civilization is not even accepting divine existence? Because they are divine existence. These intelligent civilizations are divine existence, respecting and co-creating, facilitating divine existence with their consciousness. And we are parasites hanging from them, not willing to integrate that consciousness into our global reality, because we dismiss, radically reject the tutorial guidance of the divine consciousness of the souls coming here. So they are not coming here to assist until we are not accepting ourselves. We are rejecting here our own divine existence. And the money and nobody is on top of the civilization. You can be kindness, and the problem here is when you come with this truth and this evidence people don't like, because they expect to hear beautiful things, like a boy, oh, you can keep eating the sweeteners, you can keep drinking this black, sweet, poisonous thing because it's what immaturity like to drink instead of pure water. And when you are offering pure water and you are offering pure spirit to these mentalities, they are rejecting because it is not what they expect to hear. I have been writing, Barrett, an article a couple of days ago about how neuroscience is explaining the priming effect of the mind in which people are rejecting the evidence. And through this cognitive bias, they are going back to the money tendency. That is a priming of the brain in which the superfluidity of the brain is at the same time rejecting the evidence while is attached to this financial sweetener. And that's very dangerous because nobody can pilot an airplane when they are completely toxic from any kind of substance. And the entire ruling of the planet is toxified by the psychotropic effects of money. And well, I don't know how many hundreds of times I have to say that, but if people are not listening, the consequence of not listening is suffering and the terminal trauma of this civilization. I cannot say anything else. My mission is to prevent that, but I should have to bring also to the divine order that if we are coming here with this predisposition and mission and commitment to respect in loyalty the divine order, and the people of this planet since the beginning are not listening to our guidance, there is nothing else that we can do. We cannot bring divine existence while there is a group of people here who are totally codependent of this psychotropic, making the antidepressant effect for their mental depression. This is just evidence. You can read this article; it's quite eloquent in the explanation of how this mental priming has been made, because what is happening is what you were reading the other day. People are rewarding the brain to fight against their own existence, which is actually the same symptom of this addicted to fentanyl, of this kind of drugs, who keep people totally inherent, and humankind is dead, but humankind is still in coma and is not reacting to the resuscitation of the divine interventions, the resurrection, sorry, of the divine interventions. If the civilization is not fully activated in the resurrection of the divine quantum consciousness and spirit, because we live through a spirit, there is nothing else that we can do here. And
Yeah.
that's a pity. But that's the terminal issue. And I can say that the physical death can be painful, but the death of unconsciousness is very deep, traumatic, and even more painful than any other kind of physical situation. So I do not recommend to ignore or reject this suggestion and recommendation to integrate divine existence for humanity.
Thank you, brother. Just to end it on a particular note, if you were to send a very powerful signal, a message to the likes of Elon Musk and the newly inaugurated President Trump,
Yeah.
what would you send them if you were to send them a correspondence to say, um, you know, this is a recipe, this is a formula, this will help the consciousness of the planet. In your own observation, what do you see is playing out here? Do you see another false
Yeah.
illusion, or do you see, because it's got a lot of people excited again
Yeah,
on
but mm, not me.
yeah,
In any case, and not the universe, not our galactic
no,
families. These are local impulses of creating an extension of the illusion. This is
if
an
we
extension of the illusion, but it is not facing the universal responsibility. What I should say to these guys, that they have to become mature men of the galaxy and accept the contract they were signing for their own souls. Because what I am doing is not punishing them, I am facilitating by integrating this path of evolution and sovereignty into my field of energies for them to facilitate their own divine contract with their souls. Every single one of the planet has signed a contract with their higher selves to bring this civilization into full alignment. And that's the theme of this interview, the full alignment with the universal spirit. And they have signed a contract. If they betray their own contract, they are facing their own consciousness and their own higher selves. If they are rejecting this divine guidance from the captain of this mothership. So it is convenient that when the captain is talking to the other captains of this civilization, that every captain is taking their responsibility to make this happen in the way that they are honoring their own divine soul contract to
yeah,
bring this alignment for humankind. That is what I should say with them. Because this Elon Musk has money, has car, he's shooting rockets into the sky, he's putting a lot of new satellites in orbit when we have around 7,000 satellites orbiting around the Earth, in which more than the half are not operative. So there is a lot of waste of about 4,000 satellites, which are cosmic of junk. They are not working, and there is a system monitoring all these pieces because there was a country who was shooting a missile to destroy a satellite because probably they were afraid that that technology was copied or was being stolen from the space, and they were shooting this satellite, and all those fragments are just flying in higher speeds in the atmosphere, out of the in the space, and there are monitoring to prevent collisions that could create more a chain effect of destroying other satellites and so on and so on, in which that could be endanger even the space stations, because those impacts in that speed could destroy that space station. So the destruction is not only on Earth. This mentality of self-destruction and self-sabotage and depression, antidepressants, is being projected into the space. So universal sovereignty, instead of being launching these rackets with space tourism to make business, they should be putting all this rubbish that is around the Earth to be collected to clean the space, as we have to put all the energies into this planet to clean the seas from plastics, from radioactivity, and allow these galactic families to come here to assist this civilization to heal this organism of humanity in cohabitation with this sacred organic conscious living mothership of the galaxy. Because otherwise, if we are not correcting and we are not cleaning this space, that is going to come back to us. This is a big picture that we are facing here, and requires men with integrity to face their universal responsibility, instead of creating fires, of threatening of hell, of these kind of things. They have to give back the United States to our brothers and sisters, Native American brothers and sisters, because if we are not returning the dignity and the sovereignty to our Native American brothers and sisters, we cannot have any kind of credibility, sovereignty, of dignity in the galaxy. So that is what we have to face here. That is the point that I should say to this Elon Musk with his money and his car, the electric car, and the electric car is a fraud. That is a total misconception of mobility on the planet, because they need to make business. They are totally codependent of the business concept, because they don't have an idea how universal sovereignty is co-creating all the energies necessary to balance, to bring the energies of the planet into equilibrium, like the entire cosmos is and the entire universe is. That is the evidence that I should tell to these people to embrace their own universal existence. It is not about me, it is not about my family, it is about themselves. And that is the problem, that these people are rewarding the minds with the money, with the business, with the cars, with these projects, which are totally triviality and banality, which are not functional, and they are totally disregarding the entire purpose of the universal sovereignty for this civilization. That's the point here. That is what I should say to them.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you for listening.
No, it was how time passes when we're having fun.
Yes.
It's been absolute joy.
A joy for me too.
In your company, and yeah, we'd like to invite you back for more of your precious input, and energizing the planet and showering your authenticity, and to help humanity really open their eyes to the truth.
It is evidence, Barrett, brother Barrett, is the universal evidence. I only reflect in a spiritual loyalty to my divine existence of my soul, my family, my ancestors. My two grandparents were perished in the Spanish Civil War. It is not my mother who is taking care of my father with paralysis of the right part of his body, because my family are reflecting. My daughter is kidnapped in the Netherlands. and my entire family is under this, but this is the reflection of the entire families. These kings and queens who have daughters in the Netherlands and in Spain, they think that this kind of situation is not touching them, but that is the mistake, and not thinking that is what is happening to my family is not happening to them, because it's happening to them too. And it is not happening in this space, it's going to happen in the next level of existence, in which they will see their souls separated from their families because they choose not to facilitate their own divine existence. So it is not punishment, it's not threatening, it is just reflecting what is going to happen if they are not facing their universal responsibility to facilitate divine existence for the civilization. I thank you for listening. If you have recorded this conversation and you are so kind, Barrett, to send me a copy, I would like, if you don't mind, to have that reviewed, and with your permission to share it, if you consider that fine. If you are having other opinion, let me know privately, and we will find a balance and an equilibrium of energies and respectful for each other.
Thank you so much, brother. And
thank you so much.
Really appreciate your beautiful presence, and we'll catch up in the foreseeable future, my lovely brother. Sending all our beautiful viewers out there and people of Spain and the rest of the planet, from Jose, and myself, Barrett, sending you all much love, and gratitude. Thank you so much, brother. And
thank you so much, brother Barrett.
And see you soon.
See you soon. See you soon, brother.
Thank you.
Bioactivator would like to thank you for your kind support and donations. Through Barrett Tunian's guardianship of this platform, his activation of truth harmonizes, neutralizes, and unblocks the meridians that connect, balance, and purify all that comes in contact. Do no harm is the key that fully opens the heart's voice to be in the union of the I Am presence, and will represent every living organism on the planet whose voice would otherwise not be heard. Remember, the truth will set you free. Do no harm, cause no loss, and do not impose upon the freedom of others. Love, light, and